Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. These games may need a little of your imagination, and you may need to squint your eyes or plug your ears just a little bit, but remember, all these video games are brand new. Welcome everyone to September 1982, where we were playing Moon Patrol on the Atari home computer, but not the Moon Patrol you think it is. I'd rather be playing that Moon Patrol that you think it is. Let's press forward and see the next game. Here we go, it's an Apple II kind of night. We're going to play some Sherwood Forest. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the very first video game that includes the character Robin Hood. So the very first time you could see Robin Hood. That's right. Well, technically, there was another Robin Hood video game because Softside Magazine did monthly text adventures, and in July 1982, I know that they had part of their monthly series, a text adventure game that had Robin Hood, but we're going to say, if you want to be specific about it, this is the commercial time of Robin Hood, the very first commercial video game that has Robin Hood. Yes, we're going to check it out, starting with the box. Very, very well done. Apparently, this is the Soft Tune Adventure number 1. I'm not sure if we're going to see others, but stay tuned. We'll find out. They say this is a Class 3 adventure. I have no idea what that means. I'm sure there's different varying degrees of difficulty. We played every single adventure game out there, so we can bring on any level adventure game you want. Looks like it only needs 48K, and this is by Phoenix Software. But the art is pretty cool. It looks like we're playing a cartoon of Robin Hood that I've never seen before. Flip it over the back and it says, join Robin Hood and his merry men in a madcap chase through Sherwood Forest to win the heart of elusive Maid Marian. Wait, we're all going in the forest to win the heart of the elusive Maid Marian? Okay. All right, so this is a text adventure. So of all the text adventure video games we've seen so far, this is part of the new series of it. Let's add graphics or a high-res picture to the video game. And of all the video games we've seen so far, this is the 14th. Oh, no, wait, I'm sorry. This is the 14th was the text adventure game of the Robin Hood part of Softside Magazine. So that was their 14th monthly episode. If you did see magazines of Sherwood Forest, this is what you would see, but I can't find a lot of information about Sherwood Forest out there, so I don't know how popular it was. Look for the #1 dealer to order $35. There's our 5 1/4 floppy disk. We're going to pop into play Sherwood Forest. And an example of the screenshot with high-res graphics. So this one has a few other different documents. Besides the manual, it also had wits notes. Did anyone use these? This is the publication that you buy to find the answers to an adventure game. It doesn't show anything about Robin Hood on the front, but you can see here it's general hints, so don't look too hard. It's going to give us all the answers to the game. Yeah, by Dave Hawley and Dave Johnson. It's a lighthearted romp through the world of merry old England, at least they say here in this manual. So this one, you can remember the manuals where they give you the hints or tips to how to get through graphic adventure games. There it is. How do you catch the owl? All the answers will be found right here. But we also have the manual for Sherwood Forest. Sherwood Forest. Starting off, boot Sherwood Forest diskette in normal manner. Intro to the Sherwood Forest. Welcome to Sherwood Forest. Robin needs your help. He doesn't seem to remember who he is or that he was supposed to marry the beautiful Maid Marian today. So are we really playing as Robin Hood if we don't even know who we are? It must have been that nasty bump in the head while he took fighting Sheriff of Nottingham the other day. It's up to you. You're going to have to help Robin win the hand of the elusive Maid Marian. You'll control his actions by telling him what to do. It's easy enough. It's 2-word text parser, push button, wear hat, look sign. We've seen this for a long time. In fact, of all the games we've seen so far, this is the 66th graphic adventure game of all the games so far. 66th. Starting with the very first we saw in May 1980 with Mystery House by Sierra Online. So you can type in things like inventory, moving around Sherwood Forest. You use directions like go north, go south, or S, N, W, things like that. Enter a new location for the first time. So we're very familiar with this format. After 66, well, that's 66 graphic adventure games. That doesn't even include text adventure games. And it also shows us how to save and restore the game with hints. But if you have wits notes, you can use those too. If the disk is giving you trouble, you can reach out to Phoenix Software. Very nice. So this one has a cracked version. We're going to try it without the cracked version and see what happens. So here's Sherwood Forest by Phoenix Software in September 10th, 1982. Yes, oh, it's double high res. That's even better than normal high res. Yeah, look at that. We even getting sound effects. Hey, he's blinking at us. Dale Johnson, illustrated by Dave Hawley. So it was Dave. Dale and Dave. Way to go, Dale and Dave. Let's do it. We're going to see this one later on Japanese computers, I believe, in 1984. But this is the very first one you could ever play on the Apple II. You're standing at the south end of Sherwood Forest. Well-cut paths lead north, south, east, and west. So already the presentation... Wait, we have animation. The owl is moving. That's very rare. The only other game that I can think of that's a graphic adventure that's done this has been the Sands of Egypt. And then before that, there was only one or two. Most of them are just static screens. But the owl is moving. He's actually looking at us. I like it. All right, so let's go ahead and head west. Whoa, fast loading screen too. We're in a shallow pool, water up to our knees. Okay, so let's go ahead and look pool. You found... Oh, you have picked up a large whetstone from the pool bottom. So I looked pool and I automatically got the whetstone. Nice. All right, okay, let's go ahead and head back east. We're back at the intersection. And then let's go ahead and head east again. We'll go the other direction on the path. You're standing in a field next to a dry haystack. All right, we're not going to worry about that now. Let's go ahead and head north. Oh, we can't go that way. Go back west. All right, so that was our normal direction. Now let's go north. Yeah, we didn't have to get the whetstone. I very rarely see that. In text adventure games, usually you look in the pool and it says there's a stone down there, and then you have to pick that up. But no, not here. Yes. What's our inventory, Chiptune? Can we shoot the owl? Let's see. We have a whetstone. That's all we got. So we cannot shoot the owl. Can I look? Owl. Oh, look if I spell it right. I think I understood that if it said who. Can we talk? Owl. Can we talk to animals here? That's just not possible right now, so it doesn't look like. Okay, we'll head north. Keep them coming, Chiptune. You're standing on the north end of the Sherwood Forest. A road runs east and west. A path leads north and south. Okay, so we're at another intersection. And let's go ahead and head east. You're at a log bridge that crosses over a raging stream. Little John, there he is. He actually looks little. He looks like a dwarf. Is on the bridge looking at you suspiciously. And he's blinking. We actually have the animation. I'm getting so thrilled about the animation because it very rarely happens. Of all those 66 graphic adventure games we've seen, majority of them have been static pictures. So anything happening on the screen is fantastic. Oh, I got you, Marshall. Very nice. Keep it coming. All right, so let's do the... After we say Little John, can we talk... Talk, John? That's not possible. Speak. Speak, John? No, it's not possible either. Let's look again. Notice that this graphic adventure game doesn't switch between the text and graphics. Everything we have is the graphic at the top and text at the bottom, and there's no switching back and forth like the remastered releases by Scott Adams or some of the other ones that Sierra Online's done. All right, so we just have Little John. So, yeah, no, the cartoon animation. Also, notice that they have this outline around the animation that really makes it look sharp. It looks really nice compared to other graphic adventure games. All right, let's do it. Push. Push John. That's just not possible right now. There's a lot of things not possible in graphic adventure games. All right, well, we won't bug him right now. He won't budge until he sees Robin Hood. All right, so if we try to go east again, is that what happens? Yeah, Little John won't let you cross because right now we don't know who we are. We don't look like Robin Hood. We don't act like Robin Hood. We have to regain our senses, so there's a little bit of amnesia happening here. Let's head back west. All right, now we're back at the tree. We'll go ahead and head west twice from here. Nice long east-west road that winds through Sherwood Forest. Go west again. Who is this? We're at a intersection. There's a rich taxman standing here smiling at you curiously. He looks like he's going to rob us. Or it looks like he's going to flash us, actually. I need to get away from that guy. All right, so rob taxman. I mean, we are Robin Hood. Okay, the taxman drops a small bag and quickly flees away. Nice. So we got to take bag. Very nice. We're actually being Robin Hood. We're stealing from the rich, and we're going to go give to the poor, I hope. Yeah, I'll give that one a shot. It won't let me do it right now. It says it's not possible. All right, so after that, we went to the tax man, and he dropped a little bag of gold dust. And so now we can go ahead and head north. I can't believe that worked. We're on a well-traveled road. Let's go north again. We've arrived at the fair. To the north is the fair entrance. Okay, we'll go ahead and head north into the fair. We're at midway of the fair. A blind beggar man is standing here. These are very charming graphics. The cartoon aesthetic is really, really nice. The blind man's here looking at you destitutely. All right, so let's go ahead and give the bag. We're doing it. We're being Robin Hood. Give the bag to the poor. He says thanks. There's something you might need. He takes the gold, drops a small flint, and disappears. Okay, get that flint. Okay, cool. So yeah, just imagine this is the game you got in 1982. You would understand what Robin Hood's supposed to do and figure it out. I mean, it's not that cryptic. And it even shows us in the top right, I haven't pointed that out, the exits. So when you look at the picture, if you don't understand where you can go, it tells you right there. And it even has a little point. So very well done presentation for a text adventure game. No, we've already done it really fast. Just get it done now. Okay, so after we get the flint, let's go ahead and head south back where we were before. Also notice how quickly it's loading the screen. It's very fast. Most of the time we're having slow draw-in, but it's going snappy. Really, really nice. All right, then let's head east from here. We're standing on a blacksmith shop whose entrance is to the south. Okay, let's go ahead and go south. We're inside the blacksmith shop. There's a small piece of steel lying here and by a grinder that appears to be broken. Okay, so get steel. All right, and then fix grinder. Okay, I stuck the whetstone into the grinder, and now it's fixed. So we used the whetstone. There's a piece of steel. Go ahead and get that. And then to the north, you're at the intersection of the south. Okay, so we fixed the grinder, and now we're going to head back north. Okay. I'm obviously following a walkthrough. We are no longer doing the quintessential... We're in 1982 playing a text adventure game, and we're going to be very, very lost and frustrated and have to tell all our parents, how in the world do we solve these puzzles? We're not doing that. If you want to see that, please look at our previous episodes from 1981, all those adventure games, and you will see us extremely lost. All right, so after that, let's go ahead and we went north. We're at the intersection of the Smith. We'll head east now on the well-traveled road. Man, it is pretty windy, though. You'd have to make a maze for all this. And now we'll head down south. And we're back at the tree. Very nice. All right, and then go ahead and go east again. Oh, wait, no. Go west. We can't go back that way. I know. I've never heard of this one either. This is a very well-done graphic adventure game. All right, so we have south again. And now head east. Nice. So we're at the haystack. We have flint. We have steel. And now we can actually do, for all those arsonists out there, burn haystack. Okay, the haystack's quickly... Look at that! Oh, it actually has animation for it. Quickly burn to a pile of smoldering ashes. And there's a needle here in the haystack. I know this trope is going to be in adventure games because I'm a very big fan of the King's Quest series, and the needle in the haystack, I'm sure there's plenty of other games that do this same thing. All right, so good, and you pick up that needle. We found the needle in the haystack. How do we get it? We burn the haystack down. That's the way to do it. All right, haystack goes up in smoke. Get the needle, and then go ahead and do look ashes. Nice touch. Ouch, hot. In parts of the ashes, you found a spool of thread. Whoa. Now that's pretty cryptic. Having to look through the ashes. But this goes to the same idea with all graphic adventure games. Anytime the computer says something to you back, make sure you repeat it to look at it. All right, so get spool or get thread. Okay, that'll work. It must be. How did the thread survive the ashes? We may never know. All right, so after we got the spool and... Oh my goodness, you got to be kidding me. Look, ashes again. More things are popping out. You check the ashes a second time, and then a penny pops out. This is ridiculous. And this isn't the most obscure. As far as puzzles go, how in the world would you know to check the ashes 3 times? All right, I'll take the penny. Because items are your resources in any of these games. And if you don't have those resources, then you're at a standstill. So essentially, if you didn't know to look in the ashes, you wouldn't be able to play the game any longer. It's amazing. All right, so after that, we got our penny, and then we'll go ahead and head west. We're done here. We don't need to check the ashes anymore. Go ahead and head north. And then north and west and west. Everybody was writing their own, drawing their own map, right? It's already pretty windy out there. And go north and north and north. You're by a kissing booth that is covered by a green awning. Maid Marian's here looking at you patronizingly. I don't think any femme fatale in any video game looked at as patronizingly, at least now. Yes, that's right. Very good advice, Curtis. What you should be doing in 1982. All right, you're in front of Mayberry, and there's a green awning there. You have to get the awning. Okay, get. Just take your awning. Yep, there you go. And it removes the green awning. Very nice. All right, so let's go ahead and head south now. How strange and bizarre, but that's really not. That's kind of the norm with graphic adventure games. All right, we go ahead and head south 3 times, and then head east. The map isn't extremely large, but you'd get lost if you didn't draw your own. That's a good question, Barto, man. I'm not sure if it's the very first. They had to have had. There's been so many graphic adventure games that we haven't played through their entirety, so I cannot make that claim. Yeah, it's almost like we're looking at pointillism if there's any art aficionados out there, but done on home computers, at least in 1982. All right, so now let's head north. Wait, we went east, then. Then north. It's actually keeping a record of it. Yeah, here we go. We're standing at the tailor shop, whose entrance is to the north. Okay, so let's go ahead and go into the tailor shop. We're inside the tailor shop. There's no one in the shop right now, and there's a note posted here. What does the note say? It reads, "Sorry, I ran out of a few things. Leave any work you want done here. I'll be back soon." Oh, no one's around. Nice. Okay, so after that, can we go north again? No, you can't go that way. All right, so go ahead and drop the awning. I guess... So the green awning, oh, there it is. It actually put it on the ground. So we drop our green awning in the tailor shop, and then drop the thread. You see what's happening here? We're dropping all the supplies for the tailor. Okay, so drop needle. Yep, everything we found. They actually have a little character for the needle. Very nice. All right, and then let's go south. And then head back. So we're outside the tailor shop. We just dropped everything that we need to have our clothes to be dressed as Robin Hood. You know, green clothes. All right, so let's go back in the tailor shop. And as you step in, you discover the green uniform, some thread, and a note. So just like that, this tailor is top notch. He already got our uniform for Robin Hood in a matter of seconds. He's pretty good. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get uniform. Yes, now we can look like Robin Hood. What does the note say? Is it the same note? Did he say thanks? It reads, "Here's your uniform," and I had some thread left over. What a guy. We didn't even pay anything. We didn't have to use our penny or anything. Okay, so get the thread. Wow, I love it. I know, and we didn't even see the tailor. It's almost like it was a bunch of dwarves or gnomes that were doing it for us. All right, so after we do that, let's go ahead and wear the suit. And I feel like there should be a fanfare. Notice how silent the game's been. It does have a little bit of animation, but there's no music. Don't adjust your volume. There's nothing on here. So now I feel like we should have some amazing pronouncement that we're finally Robin Hood. We're looking like Robin Hood. But props to the tailor. Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, we're going to go ahead and go south, back where we were in front of the Smith sign, and then go east, and then south, and then east. And there it is. Little John says, "Hey, hi, Robin. Watch out by the cave. It's awful windy." And with that, he lumbers away. So we don't do the famous Robin Hood fight on the log. We don't push him in or fight him, you know, with sticks or anything. We don't. Okay. Works for me. We'll keep it in east. We're now at an old deserted battlefield. There's a huge wooden catapult here. And the one gripe I could say about the game, because we're not going to play the whole thing all the way through, but it is fairly short if you consider the massive big ones out there. You know, like adventure games that I know Time Zone is way too long, but there's other adventures that you could be playing that could be longer. But I got to say, of all the graphic adventure games so far, this one has amazing presentation. Sherwood Forest is done in a way that's simplistic but works, and it still has some of the cryptic puzzles, but I really am not going to fault it for that because there's way worse ones out there. But of all the video games you'd be playing right now on a home computer, I actually got to give lots of props for Sherwood Forest. An excellent game. I could even say, maybe with a little bit of animation, say it's one of the best computer games, but I don't know if I can go that far. Bardo Man is 4.5 stars from there. I'm looking in the chat. Chiptune saying 4. But I'm actually going to say it's excellent. It's a very well done game. I wouldn't say it's one of the best games you could play on a home computer just because of the quickness of it. Yeah, Richard, I would enjoy it as well. So 4 stars for Sherwood Forest. Very nice. The 66th graphic adventure game so far. Let's see what's next. We're still going to be on the Apple II. Let's play some Spectre. I believe we've seen this one in magazines, so it's our first time to check it out. Already looks like something like an homage to Tron on the front of the box. You're marooned between stars, and the deadly questers are swarming through the spaceports to destroy you. Think fast, act faster, and if you hope to survive. Only Spectre brings you fantastic 3D maze action and special enemy locator screen. That means it's another one of the tropes we've seen in 1982, which is the 3D maze craze. That's what Spectre's going to do. This is by Datamost. This is Datamost's 16th video game we've played on the show, and most of them don't disappoint. Let's flip it over on the back. So it's about the questers. If they reach high-level decks, they become faster and smarter. Your quest to victory becomes harder. Master the amazing 3D mazes, sharpen your strategy, and maybe you'll be the one to beat the questers. It sounds like we're going to do a puzzle game if they're called the questers. What else do we have for Spectre? So cool. All right, there's the ad you would have seen in magazines. And I think that's the one we saw from Softline. Datamost has some really, really nice ones. And there's an example of the screenshot showing the 3D maze. So this one has another cracked version. I think we have to pop in the cracked one for this one. This is Bob Flanagan and Scott Miller of Datamost in September 11th, 1982. Let's do it. Yes. So we booted it up. Can everybody hear that in the background? It sounds like the video game is radioactive. They're just utilizing just what little sound they can do on the Apple II. We've heard some pretty cool stuff, but you have to do a lot of tricks for that. What was that in the background? That's how you start the title sequence? Okay. So do you want to do novice or advanced play? I'm going to go with novice. Oh, wow. Check it out. So we're doing a demo mode. Just like you're playing in an arcade. So this is a split-screen game, but it's a one-player game. On the left side is the 3D maze. Look at how it's displayed, though. That's pretty nice. And then on the right side is the top-down view. So it's simultaneously doing top-down and the maze at the same time. Every other 3D maze game we've seen so far has split it apart. If you wanted to look at the map, you would push a button and then it would switch screens. But this is happening real-time on the same screen. Wow. So a sight to behold just from that. This is the very first single-player split-screen game we've seen. Well, actually, no, I shouldn't say that because we saw Prisoner. The Prisoner games did this where they kind of split it apart. But it wasn't doing the maze like the left side. It wasn't scrolling. So cool. Okay, hit escape to play. Let's try it out. You see how this works. All right, so we're on the bottom maze. Oh, it's like Pac-Man. Look, we pick up the dots. Oh, and that is the quester. It looks just like it's from Tron. They totally ripped it off. All right, so you go around, pick up the dots, and I can move using keyboard controls only. Yeah, no joystick controls. So keyboard controls only. There's our quester. He's making his way around. Let's see if we can pick up an Energizer or something. Can we lure him this way? Nope. Notice that the maze is turning dark, and when he goes in the maze, he turns dark as well. Oh, no, he got us. He went the other way around. So there's no attack or fire. It's just moving around the maze. Picking up the Energizer pellets, very similar to Pac-Man. Let's go and pop this one up. There we go. We're energized. Let's go get him. Why can't I turn? Wait, I got my Energizer, and then my movement all of a sudden stopped. So now the keyboard is not responding. Oh, no, I'm stuck in the bottom left corner. Anybody help? Get me out of here. Do I have to do... No, okay. Escape is our usual pause key on the Apple II. Interesting. Yeah, it's not allowing me to move. It's showing how many vents we have left, but once I went in the corner, that's it. It just completely stopped. Let me try a different... No, I'm trying the commands that they've given us for the game, but it's totally... the game's not frozen, but it's totally stopped on me. Yeah, I thought we'd be able to turn around. Oh, that's it. Yeah, we got to hit the reverse key. So it won't let us turn. We have to say we want to switch to the other side. It's got to be P, V. All right, so I'm just going to try all the keys now to turn around. Anything to turn? Forward, F, Z. No, every single key is not allowing me to do... Oh, darn. Anything? No. How strange. Even on my playtest, I had the ability to turn around, but for some reason, here on the live show, it decided just to die or not allow us to turn from the corner. Let me pop it in again because something's going on with the controls. And play again. Yeah, there should be a way to turn around. Or that's another possibility. It could be a busted one. We'll avoid the radioactivity, and maybe that's the problem. And maybe it's not supposed to have radioactivity. All right, we're going to stay with novice. It's got to be, because when I've done the testing for the game, it worked just fine for the live show. I'm selecting novice again. I don't think I'm going to have to... I don't want to go for advanced play if novice isn't going to work so well. Yeah, and I'm not sure what's happening. Everything worked just fine in the playtest, and now we have froze. Anybody? So, sadly, I'm going to have to stop us there with Spectre. I really wanted to show off the way it was scrolling because at this point we played plenty of 3D maze games from a first-person perspective. This one is our 18th 3D maze game that you get to walk around inside of the maze. And if we go back in time, we played Theseus and the Minotaur in August 1982 and gave that fairly average because it didn't have any movement. It was just static screens. And then before that was a really good one, Phantom Slayer, also in August 1982. That was exceptional, but it still was flipping one screen at a time, and it wasn't this smooth scrolling like we saw. And before that, we saw 3D Ghost Mania, which was essentially Pac-Man in July 1982, and then before that was 3D Maze of Gold in June 1982, and then before that was 3D Monster Maze in January 1982. It's been the year of 3D maze games. And then, of course, we've just had 3D Maze on the BBC Micro, NASCOM, ZX81. And so this one is another one, but it's doing something that we haven't seen, which was that smooth scroll as you're moving around in real time. Yeah, it's too bad that this one was busted, but don't fault it for that. Something's happening because it's the live stream, the luck of the live stream. But I'll say of all the games we've played so far, Spectre is a really cool, very interesting, and it's doing something that we haven't seen before. So I'm gonna have to say above average with 3.5 stars. Yeah. That's true. If we saw more, and then maybe there was different levels to it, but for my knowledge, there's not anything more than what we saw so far on that one spectacle. All right, so that's Spectre, the Spectre spectacle, and with that, let's see what our next game is. Still on the Apple II. Here's Spider Raid. Let's take a look at the box. This is by Insoft. The very first game we've seen by Insoft. Not familiar with them. Whoa, freaky though. What is this? A bunch of bugs on the world. It's them. Flip it over on the back. The Great Human War of 2017 has nearly destroyed the Earth. 2017! Only a handful of simple creatures, mainly hardy insects, survive, and even they suffer severe mutations. The incredible radioactivity and chemical poisons dumped into the atmosphere were absorbed and integrated into the defense system of the harmless Minimus problemus beetle. Now equipped with poison spray and resembling very much a bug spray can of years gone by, the mutant Sprayus toxicus beetle. Why are they giving a story for this? I don't think they need a story. I'm pretty sure we're just going to shoot stuff when we go in the game. So your hero Maximus, the leader of one of the few remaining spider packs formed in early days after the Great Destruction. You and your 2 loyal warriors must seek out the only food supply left, the common fly, but beware of the acid rain, which knocks you down and leaves you far from prey of the proximity of the deadly orange spray beetles. Your biggest allies are the magic leaves, which transport you toward the fly. They also impart energy and can shuttle you away from peril. Good luck. Only the speed and cunning can save you from certain death. This is written in Graphoth, and it needs 48K on your Apple II. And there it is, Graphoth down at the bottom. It's so cool. All right, do we have any other artwork for Spider Raid? I just feel like it's going to be a Centipede variant. So there's our 5 1/4 floppy disk by James Marsh. Way to go, James. I know there's so much lore. I'm very surprised with all the lore we read in the game. A lot of it really doesn't help you with the gameplay. It's meant to be, most of it's filler, and obviously if you play role-playing games, you're going to get a lot more. But I'm surprised with just the score attack games and the arcade-style games, they still have lore. All right, let's pop in and play Spider Raid. It's September 10th, 1982 by Insoft. So first one they have for us, let's see what it's like. That's it, James Marsh, Insoft. So we can do keyboard if you want to, or joystick. I got our joystick in. Let's push J. We're ready to go. Maybe we'll get some backgammon lore at some point. It wouldn't surprise me. From what we've seen so far, we've already seen board game lore, so it's going to come up again. All right, so this game, I'm controlling a spider. So Spider Raid isn't you attacking spiders. You are playing as a spider. A lot of stuff's already happened very, very fast. So if you look at the screen, this is me now moving. Oh, wait, am I not playing right now? Yes. No, I'm in. No, it works. Yeah, so you're playing as the spider. And the spider's supposed to move around and capture the fly. So the gameplay's interesting because it's random. I don't think it does it any favors, but yeah, look, as I move around trying to go get... As I move around to go over to the left side to get the fly, he just flies around to a different spot. But you have to avoid the spray cans. The spray cans destroy you, but we have a meter right here above my shoulder. The more flies I eat, it raises that meter, almost like making my health meter larger. Got it? Okay, yeah, so it's working. And then the top left, that's the number of lives we have, and then how many flies we've eaten, which is 4 so far, appears at the top. Okay, I'm using the leaves. It works. The leaves work to warp to where the fly is. So it's a unique concept. We played other games where you're having to search for something or get something or collect something. Oh, man. Okay, got it. Nice. Very cool. Okay, so I don't know how I could rate the game because there's not too much to compare this to. We're not shooting anything. All it is to go get something else. So since the very beginning of Gamedom, we played a game called Gotcha in the arcades, which essentially was tag. You know, you moved one pixel across the map to another pixel on the other side. Go down, get it. Okay, got it. So this one essentially just get to the fly, and you see I'm capturing at the top and collecting all the flies. Let's go down to the side. Don't touch the water. No, go down. Oh, okay, and if you do go off the map, you'd like warp to another side. So there's just a lot of randomness to it. I don't feel like I'm actually playing the game very well. I feel like more the game's playing me. Spiderweb's a cool effect, but I'll give them props. This is the first time we've ever seen anything from this publisher, and the concept isn't, they're not copying anything like Centipede, like I expected it to be. So it warped us right there, got the fly. Very nice. Warp us across, avoid the spray cans. Oh, and then right before we get the fly, right before you get the fly, it warps to another spot, and then we die from the spray can getting us. So a very curious video game. I don't want to rate it very highly because I would rather be the spray can. I'd rather spray and shoot stuff than trying to just run around avoiding things. So it's not as intuitive. It's still, I would say, fairly average for all the games we've seen around this point. But I understand now why you want to have a shooter, why you want to have a game with action, because just wanting to go collect something isn't as enjoyable. I feel like I should talk to the future me when I end up checking out all the collect-a-thon video games later. So remember, Chronologically Gaming, we don't like collect-a-thon games, I guess, or maybe we don't right now. All right, so I'm looking in the chat. Yeah, we see the 3.5, but not average. 3, oh, really not average because it's so unique. And then we got 3 stars from Charlie and Bartow Man, and then yeah, the weird factor from Obsidian Arcade. Yeah, give it above average because of that. 2.5. Well, since the gameplay is a little loose, I'm not going to say 3.5. I'll say 3 stars because it doesn't feel like I'm doing as much controlling. It's not very intuitive, and especially for the Apple II, we played games that control much better than this. Oh, and Chiptune, yeah, we haven't seen Black Widow yet. It's not in the arcades at this point. We will soon, though. All right, let's see what's next. Yeah, that's correct, Curtis. I told you it was an Apple II kind of night. Here's Space Station Zulu on the Apple II. Let's take a look at the box. Look at that box. The artwork, the logo, everything looks like it was done just by hand. And it's surprising because it's Avalon Hill that published this one. Space Station Zulu looks like we had some kids take care of the artwork. No offense to the artist, but you know, it's not like the other polished micro computer games titles we've seen. Very interesting front of the box though. Taking out some aliens. All right, let's flip it over on the back. There's the 5 1/4 floppy disk with an example of the screenshot in the top left. Somewhere in space, far from Yarg. And we're going to be reading the manual, so I won't read everything on the back of this one. A lot of information, but mostly what we expect from Avalon Hill.
The computer store.
Maybe that's what it is too. They need to get work too. All right, what other artwork do we have for Space Station Zulu? Just an example of the screenshot. And then the manual. How do we play Space Station Zulu? On a planet known as Yarg, dwell a peace-loving civilized race called Yargs, who take great pleasure in studying and investigating the galaxy they inhabit. So it's another sci-fi title. After discovering the wondrous secrets of Xantham's star drive system, they become even more deeply involved in space exploration. Soon their stellar explorations are scattered far and wide. The Yargs, being logical folk they are, found it convenient to establish outposts, and Space Station Zulu is one such outpost. Positioned in orbit around a huge gaseous giant, the 43-member crew of the Zulu spends most of their time studying the stars. So I guess we're a peaceful people. It came to pass that shortly after exploration ship had stolen the station, and a computer notified the captain the space station's sanctity had been violated by an unknown alien life forms. That's what we're talking about. The computer had already deduced from various readings the aliens had 3 stages of growth: spores, larvae, and adults. It also surmised the creatures were at deadly peril and appeared to be scattered throughout the station, and that their numbers were increasing rapidly. The battle's begun. Now you can reenact the desperate struggle as captain of the Space Station Zulu, directing the crew against the ever-growing aliens. Wow, 14 pages in the game. And as usual, Microcomputer Games has lots of people involved. Check it out. This is mainly by Dennis Shields, and then the Apple program was done by Dennis Milbert. So I actually couldn't determine if this was first on the Apple II or the Atari home computer. We're playing it here first on the Apple II. So it's telling you what you'll need in the Atari required to play Space Station Zulu, and then for command mode what it's like. And then it says on the Apple II, Space Station Zulu does not use joysticks or paddles, so that's the version we're playing on. All input is on the keyboard. When you begin the game, it's going to tell you which rooms you want to select by pressing A through U, and we'll see it on the map. And we can also select which room. When we get to a room, the cursor is automatically pointed at a crewman or monster, and you push any key except return to select what they want to do. So it's this one, ladies and gentlemen, is a strategy video game. Very similar to another game we played by Avalon Hill called The Alien in May 1982. So the video game on the Apple II version is going to be just us using the keyboard. And we got difficulty levels, really nice. We'll see that when we boot the game up. And then the intelligence mode of the aliens that you play. So the objective is to win the game. Crew members have to rid Space Station Zulu of all adult and larva forms of alien intruders. And we do that with, we're assuming that a few measly spores won't last long. We'll take care of it. So if you want to win the game, you have to be familiar with the commands and knowledge of the game. So this means you have to know what to type in. You'll probably use the manual. There's Space Station Zulu, and they'll give us the map on the top. Oh, nice! We get a picture of what they look like, because that is the art in the game. The adult alien and the adult the Apple adult alien. Oh, so we got different ones. So the Apple one actually looks like that on the right side. So the pixel art is what we're going to be seeing in the game, and that's what the larva really looks like. Why you need the manual, so you don't have to use your imagination. And there's the spores. So cool. So here's the crew. We're going to have 4 robots and then Yargs, who we are. We're the alien Yargs. That's us. So it looks... They actually show the difference between Atari and Apple right there. The pixel art looks very similar, but that's who we are. And there's our robots. On the Apple, they look a little bit more like robots. Nice. And then the frozen Yargs are in freezer rooms S and T. Defrost procedures used to them to bring them back. And then the captain's not represented. That's us. We're the part of the captain. And we're sending everybody out on what to do to take care of the aliens. So it shows us the initial placement of the game, and then room display. So we're going to have to decide who's going to go to what room, and then what strategies we want to take out the alien. Look at all the commands, though. You'd have to know all this to be able to play the game. It is another, I wouldn't say super involved strategy game. Judging by the manual, it looks like it's a lot of stuff, but it really isn't that complicated compared to other strategy games we played. We also have weapons and inventory, and it shows us here we're going to be having knives, laser guns, rad bombs, big hammers, fire torches, noise bombs, ice bottles, shock rods, grenades, and rifles. So cool. They show both art, the Atari and Apple art on the manual. So cool. And then we can go through attack phases, and it's a turn-based affair with victory conditions. And then at the bottom we have the loading instructions with some spiels by Avalon Hill. Awesome. I know, right? When they showed the other versions of the game in the manual, then you want the other version, and you realize you bought the wrong one. All right, let's play Space Station Zulu. It's September 11th, 1982. So this one, we don't need any joystick plugged in. This will all be on the keyboard. And as far as strategy games go on home computers, we've seen quite a bit. As far as this formula, the best or closest one would be The Alien. Majority of them are going to be playing differently. So there's not a whole lot of video games you can compare this to. That's right. Later, when we get all the releases in the United Kingdom, I'm just looking in the chat that it's going to be where you look at the manual and realize, oh, I should have got the other one. Take a look at the difficulty levels. Normal, much harder, and then Little Hope. It's awesome. I'll just do normal. Do you want to have hidden movement? Or I'm going to say no. I want to see all the aliens. No. Do I want to have hidden movement? I said no. I guess yes, no, yes, no. No. There we go. Alert, alert! Biological integrity violated. Threat evaluation program running. That means the aliens are in the building. There's the alien life forms. Threat, lethal, hostile. Alien forms exhibit rapid growth. Recommended immediate countermeasures. There's our map. So now we can place all the robots. We have 4 robots that'll help us fight. The aliens are represented by the green and white symbols. So I'm going to go ahead and put a robot in room P, room M, room N, room C. Okay, so we have our Yargs left, or our troops. This is us. We'll put a Yarg in room R, F, C, N, M, P, and I don't think you can put it in 6, right? Oh, you can put it in 6. Okay, so let's do RP. So all I'm doing is just putting different troops in the rooms so we can fight them later. Keep going. Let's put a bunch. Let's just put a ton in C. We'll make sure we knock out the aliens there. So you have to decide which of the alien rooms has the most spores and larvae that are going to eventually make more aliens so you can wipe them out before they start to spread too rapidly. Oh, thanks for the heads up, Curtis. Yeah, it looks like something had the caps lock on, so that's what's going on. All right, so now it's going to give us where all our people are, obviously represented by those symbols. So now we can pick a room. We can look at our inventory. We could go to the next turn, but we're not going to go to the next turn. They're going to keep spawning. So here's how the battle works. Up in room C, if I push C, it's going to go to that room. And then from that room, you can see all the Yargs we put here, plus the one robot down at the bottom. So pick someone with the arrow. Arrow keys, really? Oh, cool, okay. Okay, so you can actually pick... Very nice. All right, so when you hit enter, now you can decide what commands you want this one person to do. Mass move, move, search, attack. So I'm just going to go to attack, and I'm going to have him attack this monster. Okay, next. And then do this one, can defend. So you see I'm doing what you would do in like a role-playing game, but this one really wouldn't be determined like as a role-playing game. It's purely strategy, sending your troops where you want to do. Next one, let's go ahead and have them attack. And I'm doing this all on the keyboard, just the arrow keys. Let's have them attack that one. And then next, let's have them attack this one. And next, do I have a fire? Use weapon. Okay, if you look in the top left, there's our weapons. We got the hammers. And I think there's one torch, but it's not. It's like a acetylene torch. Okay, so now I can do this one to move closer. The arrow keys don't allow me to go back and forth, though. The 2 different ways to move on the Apple II keyboard means it's just going to wrap around. So every time you push the button, you have to wrap all the way around. Let's do fight. All right, next, let's have you attack the last one, and then our robot, can you use your weapon? Let's do mass move. Fight. Okay. And done. And perfect. Okay, so now you see how the battles work out, and then all it does is it randomizes what's going to happen with the battle. So you have to determine where the aliens spawning, how often they're spreading, and then you pick the kind of attack or defense patterns you want for everybody in each room. And this is just one turn. So in one turn, you're moving to a room, deciding what you want to do, and then making decisions like that. So cool. Okay, so that's all I'm going to show for this version of Space Station Zulu, so you understand how it works. It's a slower paced affair for strategy games, and there's not a lot of video games that you could compare this exact formula to. So it is a little slower paced, though, because you have to go room to room, decide what you want for all the units in those rooms, and then go to the next turn after that. And then what happens is after the next turn, the aliens then show you where they've spawned or moved from there. So it's honestly like a perfectly average Avalon Hill video game is what I would say. But as far as all the games you can play on a home computer, it's still around the average range. Because if you enjoyed strategy games or sci-fi games, I still see this very similar to the Alien. So I'm going to say 3 stars of everything so far on a home computer for Space Station Zulu. But, oh yeah, I'm already seeing 2.5. Yeah, it's true, it's not as good as a box art, Manly. And then the rest, everyone's saying 3 stars, Bardo Man saying 2. But that's not all. We take a break from the Apple II to go to the Atari home computer and play the port of Space Station Zulu on the Atari. And it's possible this one came out first. So same box we saw from before on the Apple II. Here it is, with, instead of the 5 1/4 floppy disk, the cassette on the back of the box. Artwork's the same we're going to find in the manual. In fact, I think all I have is the ad by Avalon Hill. There it is. And there's the Alien we were talking about earlier in the top left of this ad. And beside that, there's our cassette tape. That's right, Manly. Manual is going to look very similar to how it was on the Apple II. It's the exact same one, same lore, same story. We're the Yargs. We want to take out the aliens. The object of the game now is different because on the Atari, you get to use your joystick. And this has a user interface that is much better than using just the keyboard. So plug in your Atari VCS joystick and play. There's actually a small cross or cursor on the screen that's displayed. And whenever you go into different command modes, you rotate now through using the joystick and making selections. And you can answer yes or answer no using the joystick. That's what set this one apart from the Apple II. The user interface is what's going to make it a lot better. Same game objective. Everything's pretty much the same for the manual, so we're not going to go through this since we did it on the Apple II. Here we go. Let's pop it in play. Space Station Zulu by Dennis Shields at September 11th, 1982. Oh, yeah, don't hold your breath about graphics, though. I just said the user interface was going to improve. Here we go. Avalon Hill. I believe this one takes a little bit longer to load. Yeah, all audio rates and... yeah, there we go, much better. All right, difficulty level. Now you can do your joystick to select this. Check it out. So I don't have to do the keyboard. I have to use the keyboard. So we'll do with normal level of play. Then push the red button, and then I held it down, and there's just the one option if you want visible monsters or not. But you just need to tap the red button. I held it down and went to the next prompt. Warning, biological integrity violated. I hate it when my biological integrity is violated. Stand by. It does feel like it's in basic, right, Errol? And I'm sure this one is too. You can see it when you see the map compared to the other games we played on the Atari. Recommend station alert condition code red, even though the background is beige. Intruder alert, identifying the intruders. We're getting a little more sound than the Apple II, but not too much. So there it is. Adult alien, the larva, and the spores have nothing. Aliens scattered throughout the space station. There it is. Looks really similar to the Apple II. So main program's loading up. Space Station Zulu is a game of acquired taste. It's kind of like the gamers that picked out Crush, Crumble, and Chomp, and then returned it because it was strategy. You had to type in the commands. If you knew you were getting into something strategy, you'd enjoy a title like this. There is some better ones out there. All right, so now we can put a robot in our rooms. And so now if I want to use the joystick, it doesn't work. I still have to use the keyboard. So let's go ahead and put a robot in L. Let's put a robot in K. And a robot in I. And let's put another one in K. Let's have K the big one. Let's put a bunch of Yargs in K. And L and 8. Oh, I guess I can't do that. We'll do I. S. So I'm just doing it like we did on the Apple II. I'm assigning where I want to put most of my troops or Yargs. We have Dock 3 and H. And you can also put troops in rooms that don't have any aliens yet, because you're expecting it to spread to different areas. All right, so we'll just have a ton in K. Good luck. And now position the cursor. Check it out. The joystick controls the cursor, so now I can go where I want to in whatever room. Ready? Go! So I just went to K using the joystick. And now that I'm in the room, I can use the joystick. Ooh. So the user interface allows me to select the cursor. It isn't beautiful to look at. There's other games we played that have this kind of interface, but not... it looks a little bit better than this. I mean, this is like using the character graphics of the Atari, or modified character graphics. And what's really interesting is this has a cursor on the screen. There's no such thing as a mouse right now. So you'd have to use the Atari joystick to play. But I mean, imagine how much better it would be to play with a mouse. But I don't know. I'll just pretend we don't know what that is. Okay, so pick someone with a cursor. Let's pick them. And then after you pick them, now you scroll through. Check it out. With your joystick, what you want. Let's use our weapon. And then now you can go up here, select the weapon you want, holding the laser gun. Which monster do you want to shoot with the laser gun? This one. Okay, next. Got it. And we go for our next one. And then we want to... They even have a little sound effect. Attack which monster? Then you select the monster you want. And then you go to the next. Attack. And let's go ahead and knock these guys out. We're going to wipe them out. So still a slower paced affair, but it's per the course for most strategy games. That's why I say it's very average for all the video games you could be playing right now. And select the next one. And we'll just keep attacking everybody. When it comes to the battle for the game, it's all random. They're just going to do a dice roll. You can meet the amount you need to, as if we're playing Dungeons & Dragons, or fail. Maybe for this showcase, I should have done less people in the room so I don't have to select everybody. Okay. Oh, did I not pick everybody? I hope I did. Plotted to attack. Got it. Okay, I missed one. There he is. I got it. Now go. So they're doing the attack phase. Killed the adult. I rolled a 63. We needed a 20. So it's just going to go... Each person does their turn. Does rolls the dice, see if we make it to kill an adult. Oh, interesting. It waits until I push the red button on my Atari VCS joystick, so it tells us killed one, and then the other one missed. But I have no idea who's doing what, so I don't know which one is attacking. Robot, it just has a quick note of what happens, then we move on. Sorry you missed. Sorry you missed. And there it is. So we finished our battle sequence, but we're not done with the turn. We just done with room K. And now that we finished room K, then you move to the next room, work that out, and then move to the next one after that. Yeah, if it's your cup of tea, you would enjoy this style of game. If you think of all the video games we played so far on home computers, Space Station Zulu is still all right. It is an okay title. So I'm going to still say for the Apple II, I'm actually going to give this one a notch higher because of the user interface. Being able to program or use more with the joystick is much more enjoyable, and it works pretty good. Yeah, you say 3 for this version too, and I can understand why. I always want to give props to the controls, or giving some option to use the joystick whenever you play. All right, that's where we're going to put the video game playing on pause this evening. Tune in next episode as we open the Pandora's box of Apple II games, and who knows what we will find. That's it for today, and like I always say, whatever cutting-edge video game you're playing right now will someday be retro. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we missed any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and MAME. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are perpetually retro, and we will catch you next time.